Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching NowMedia Television.
Hey, I'm your business guide, Michael Rager, and welcome to Biz Talk TV here on the NowMedia Television Network. I want to talk to you and start out right now. Where are you going? Where are you going? As a business guide, one of the things that I tell my clients is, I can't take you anywhere if you don't know where you're going. There's a lot of people out there that tell people to look at, 5, 10-year, 15-year goals. I don't think that's realistic. Most people don't even know where they're going next Thursday, let alone 10 years down the road. What I like to do with my clients is look at where we want to be 3 years from now. At least 3 years from now, we got a sight, we can figure that out, we can kind of see it. Because what happens is most people severely overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate in what they can do in 3. So, and also to get there in 3 years, one thing we have to do is we have to break down our year into 90-day chunks. We got to take that 90-day chunks and set ourselves 2 to 3 goals. And in those 2 to 3 goals, that can help us get to where we really want to go and really move us along to get to that place that we set 3 years from now. And the last thing we have to do is set those nasty KPIs. Nobody likes to set key performance indicators, but if we don't track where we're going, we all have this little thing sitting in front of us. We've got the GPS. It tells us where we're going. Your KPIs, your map, your 90 days will help you make sure that you're on track to get to where you're going. Because, it's really funny, 1/3 of the first quarter is already over. And we got to make sure that we're on track. And I want to make sure you, as a business owner, you're on track for where you want to go. So that's how we're going to start the day out today. We're going to understand where we want to go. We're going to be right back, and we're going to bring in Jennifer Drago, and she's going to help us put some important things into our business. So I'm Michael Rager, your business guide here on Biz Talk TV. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, my name is Elias Basabe, founder of Little Maria's Cafe Restaurant in West Houston, located in 2901 Wilkers Drive, Suite 137, first floor. Here you will find a family-friendly and relaxed environment where you can enjoy a delicious homemade breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We know you need to get to work fast, and we want you to enjoy a tasty, quality, and healthy homemade food. So come and visit us for a great nutritious meal at an affordable price. We specialize in tasty breakfasts, deli sandwiches, fish, even barbecue cookouts. Little Maria's Cafe has it all. We only use the great quality of birds head meats and products. Just like you, we love to get you up early. Little Maria's Cafe is open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can dine in with us during breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or we can have it ready for you for pickup. Visit us today on the first floor of the CMPC Center at 2901 Wilkers Drive, Suite 137, first floor. Order now at 832-667-8376, Little Maria's Cafe.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide, Michael Rager. I'm so excited. We're going to bring in my good friend, Jennifer Drago from Peak to Performance. She's going to talk about one of the most important and overrated things that, not overrated, I don't know what I'm talking about, underrated things that we got to do as a business owner is take care of us. So Jennifer's going to talk today about, maintaining and maximizing your health as a business owner. Take it away, Jen.
Welcome to Peak to Profit, where each week we share practical and tactical guidance to help you lead a profitable business. I'm Jennifer Drago, award-winning strategist and business coach. I help businesses develop a laser-focused strategy and roadmap for business growth so that they can earn more, work fewer hours, and amplify the impact they have in the world. As a business leader, did you know that one of the most important aspects of your performance and the ability to achieve your business goals relates to your own physical and emotional health? It's not something we think about every day, but I want to bring some light to this topic today because I do think it's such an important foundation for us to focus on as business leaders. Especially if we're the leader of a small team or if we're an entrepreneur, the reality is that our health is the business health. If we get sick or have some period of disability, our businesses would likely suffer. So isn't it in our own best interest and the interest of our business to focus on our own health and wellness first and foremost? Not only will this pay dividends in our own health, but we'll be role modeling great habits and behaviors for our team members, who in turn will hopefully share the same interest in improving and maintaining their own physical and mental health. Here are some things that we should be thinking about as it relates to our own physical health. First, focus on your nutrition. When you're busy, it's easy to neglect your own nutrition, either by not eating enough or eating regularly, or by making poor food choices because we haven't pre-planned our meals. Nutrition is the #1 contributor to your overall physical health. It's also been shown in research that nutrition is one of the largest contributors to chronic disease. If your nutrition isn't on point, I would suggest that you prioritize this first and foremost. As they say, garbage in, garbage out. Nowhere is this more true than in your own human body. When we fill ourselves with caffeine, sugar, processed food, fast food, what we're doing is decreasing the performance of our brains. Our brains become foggy and cannot work in a clear, concise, efficient manner. Have I convinced you yet to really start thinking about your nutrition and how it can make your business better? I hope so. The second area that we should consider as leaders when it comes to our physical and emotional health is our physical activity. Now, many entrepreneurs and leaders are famous for sitting behind a desk, working long hours without much movement except for our eyes, our mouth, and our fingers. This is a pretty sedentary lifestyle. Another large contributor to chronic disease in our population is inactivity or a sedentary lifestyle. So if you're not at a point where you're getting regular physical exercise in your day, please prioritize this as well. Taking walks is the perfect activity to break up your day, give your mind a break, and get your blood pumping. Prioritizing physical activity will pay dividends in your business because you'll be able to focus better when you do sit down to do the work, and you'll have mental clarity for the tasks that you're doing. Your energy will also increase and your mindset will improve. Research studies show that dopamine increases with exercise, which can positively impact our mindset. Leaders and entrepreneurs really need to have their mindset as a priority. So even if you don't feel like exercising for the sake of your physical health, do it for the sake of your mindset. Having a positive mindset will in turn reap positive returns in your business. And a third area to focus on is your own mental and emotional health. Being a leader is difficult, make no mistake about it, especially during these uncertain times. Being a leader in today's environment requires managing your mindset. One of the best ways that I've found to do this is through a daily meditation practice, which I found brings peace, calm, and a sense of clarity to my day. I've also found journaling extremely helpful, especially to rid my mind of worries and anxieties. And an even more profound technique that I found when journaling is to use positive events journaling and gratitude journaling. Positive events journaling involves celebrating your wins each day and the positive things that happen. This can be extremely motivating and satisfying to you as a leader, especially when we sometimes feel like we're alone or on an island. Gratitude journaling has a similar effect. By thinking intentionally about what we're grateful in our lives, we release chemicals in our brain that keep us in a positive psychological state. This positivity helps us in our business, allows us to be better leaders, and also allows us to serve our customers even better. Lastly, here's one tip to keep your mind clear and focused. I know as a leader, you are driven and you likely work long hours. It requires a lot of mental fortitude. I want to encourage you also to regularly disconnect from your work. Research has shown that psychological detachment from your work allows your brain to recover so that when you return to the work, you are more energized, more creative, and more productive. What this means is that you shut down at the end of your workday and then you stay disconnected from your work, instead focusing on your family, friends, loved ones, and other interests. At the end of your week, you take a true weekend and recharge doing things that you enjoy, getting out in nature, and also spending time with family, friends, and loved ones. Recharging also involves taking regular vacation, whether that's a long weekend away or taking a full 1 or 2 weeks in a location you enjoy. Again, it's important to remain completely disconnected and psychologically detached from your work in order to have the true impact of recharging or recovery. Again, it's so important for your overall mental health, your clarity, your creativity, and your overall productivity. So I hope you found these tips helpful, but the main point is to prioritize your own physical and mental health so that you can be a better leader and a better business owner. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Hey Jen, that's great news. In order to be a business owner, you got to be performing both mentally and physically because there's so many people out there that are depending on you. You got not only your clients, you got your staff, you got your family. Everybody is depending on you, so that's some great information. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. I'm here on Biz Talk TV on NowMedia TV. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk in bookkeeping and all that fun stuff with our good friend Kristen Gunderson next. We'll be right back.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
The tax and bookkeeping team is key to any successful business. At Gunderson's Bookkeeping, our passion is to help small business owners grow, be profitable, and to prosper. We specialize in supporting small to mid-sized business owners who want to hire a full-time or even a part-time bookkeeper, but just do not have the funds. In addition, we free business owners from the tedious tasks of bookkeeping and help them focus on their business operations, their growth, and profitability. Gunderson's Bookkeeping is your business solutions partner offering a broad range of services to meet the needs of our clients. A profitable business needs accurate and reliable books, so take a strong step and call us today for your personal, no-risk consultation.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and business guide, Michael Rager. We're got our good friend, Kristen Gunderson, and she's going to talk about something interesting. It has to do with your accounting and how you're keeping your records. We're going to talk about cash versus accrual accounting, and we're going to also talk about retainers, when you should take them, when you shouldn't, and how to actually use them right so you can get the most cash flow in your business. Take it away, Kristen.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on the Biz Talk show today. I am Kristen Gunderson with Gunderson's Bookkeeping. I'm here to get all of your bookkeeping and tax questions answered. So I have 2 questions in today. One is on cash basis versus accrual basis accounting. And then another one is on retainers and when to use them and how to charge them. So I'm going to get started with the accrual-based accounting. So there is a principle out there called matching principle. And what this means is if you have income coming into your business, you want to match that income against the expenses that occurred with that income. And so you want to make sure that those get booked in the same time period, same month, same quarter. that they happened. So this is called accrual-based accounting. It doesn't matter if you invoiced it, that's when we're going to have it be counted as income, but you may not get that money for 30 days, 60, 90 days down the road when the company pays you. Same thing for expenses. You may get that bill in, and you want to put that bill in when the date on the bill is for that time period that it's for. So make sure you get it in the correct month, even though you may not pay it for 30, 45, 60 days later, depending on when it's due. Like you want to keep your cash flow going and pay it as close to its due date as possible without it being late. So that is accrual-based accounting. That differs from cash-based accounting when a lot of people, for tax purposes, they use cash-based accounting. So at the end of the year, like say if that check comes in and you know like you have a really high profit and you want to minimize your net profit so that you don't have to pay as much in taxes, you're not going to put that money into your bank account until January 1st or after the new year. That way that new income counts for the next year's income. And the same thing for expenses. A lot of times people will see like they have all this money as a net profit and they're like, oh, I want to lower my taxes I'm going to owe on this net profit, so I want to prepay as many bills as I can. So what companies can I call and be like, hey, can I prepay this bill? Can you send me a bill early for I can prepay it to get this expense in, even though the expense hasn't happened yet? So with cash basis accounting, there is lots of ways to play with it, and a lot of people use it for tax purposes to be able to, when they're paying their taxes. I mean, you're always looking at your net profit to see how much you're going to owe in taxes, and they want to reduce their net profit for that they don't have to pay as much in taxes. However, what I want to talk about is the accrual-based accounting. Like that is what you should be looking at when you're going over your numbers and being able to look at your numbers. If you're using like QuickBooks Online, you can really easily click the button when you're running the report for your profit and loss in the balance sheet. Click the report of, do I want it in accrual or do I want it in cash? The accrual base is what I recommend you look at, because that will give you a truer picture of what your net profit is for the month. That way you can see, am I really making money on this product that I'm selling or these services that I'm selling? If you have multiple segments in your business where you may sell, to commercial, you may sell to individual, like especially in the construction industry, you want to be able to run that by industry, by segment of your business to see if you're making money on what you're doing, because there may be a segment of your business that isn't very profitable, but takes up a lot of your time, and a lot of people call and they complain, and there's just not a lot of value in it, so you don't make a lot of money in it. And maybe if you use the other segment of your business, like there's a whole lot, like the profit's way higher on it and the headaches are way down. So maybe that's something that you want to consider. But if you're not doing the matching based principle of having the income when it's earned and the expenses of when it's incurred too, like if you don't run it month by month, matching by matching, you won't see what your true profit is to see if your business is really profitable. This is really important for industries like, say, that are seasonal, like landscapers, or maybe you're in the Christmas season. Like you want to make sure that you're making profit on everything that you're doing. Otherwise, it's not worth doing it in your business unless there's something else going on, like maybe you use it as that's the way you get clients in the door. Like you really have to evaluate that type of stuff. So remember the accrual-based accounting. Look at that for when you're looking at your numbers. The next question that I had that came in is retainers. Talk to me about retainers. What are they? How do I charge them? And when do I have that revenue counted as revenue? So the first one is the retainers. So you will see retainers used a lot with lawyers. Law firms use retainers a lot, and that's what we think of retainers. However, it's not just limited to law firms. Consultants can use retainers, accountants can use retainers. Like there's a lot of different industries out there, and it varies industry to industry who can use retainers. Think of a retainer as a deposit. So basically you are requesting say up to half of what you think the total project will be, you're requesting half of that up front to get started on that project as a deposit to get you going on the project. So make sure you have it clear if you're going to start using retainers or deposits. Make sure you have it clear in your agreement with your client of that deposit is going to be used towards the end bill, and either you are going to, one, charge them again when your total hours run out of whatever you asked for. You're going to charge them another retainer, or you are going to, B, just go ahead and finish the project, and then the total invoice will take that retainer, that deposit against it, and then you will bill them for whatever's due at the end. So have that crystal clear in your agreement with your client that they know when to expect another bill. So if you're a business and you're thinking about wanting to use retainers or start asking for retainers from your clients, how do you go about in figuring out what to charge and what to ask for? So you have to have a pretty good idea of how many hours the total project is going to take you. If you think the total project is going to take you 10 hours to finish and your hourly rate is, say, $100 an hour, that would be $1,000 the total bill should be. So some research out there shows that you can charge anywhere from 20% to 50% for a retainer. I use 50%. I would recommend using 50% for the retainer because, one, it puts more, you are putting more value on your services, and it gives your client the impression that you value your services and they will value your services more also. So I do 50%. So if you know or you believe that that project will be $1,000, go ahead and ask for $500 as a deposit or a down payment. And just let them know that that deposit or retainer will be used towards the end bill. And then it's up to you to decide, one, when you use up all of those 10 hours or whatever you originally thought it was, do you charge another retainer, like if you're going to go over? Or do you just charge, if it's just like an hour or two over, just go ahead and charge the extra, say 2 hours or whatever it is to finish that project as an invoice instead of charging them a whole nother retainer. So the last question regarding retainers is, when does this come in as income? If I receive that full $1,000 retainer, do I include it as income on my profit and loss right away? And the answer is no. That is not earned income yet. It is actually considered a liability because you owe them services for that money that they paid you. So it goes on your balance sheet, and you can name it retainer, you can name it down payment on your balance sheet, but it goes as a liability on there. And then whenever you're done with the project or whenever you've worked on the project and you're going to go ahead and invoice the client, when you invoice them for the work that's done, regardless of if they used all of the retainer or if they used a partial amount of the retainer, when you invoice them, that is when you move it from the liability over to the profit and loss, the income statement, and put it in as income, as you've actually earned that income now. And the same thing goes for if you are if you are paying a retainer and you have a business. The opposite is true. It doesn't count as an expense right away because that expense hasn't occurred. It kind of goes back to that matching principle I just got done talking about. So it would actually be put onto your balance sheet as a prepaid expense, and then when you get that invoice in of, hey, I've used your retainer, or this is how much I've used of your retainer, then it moves over as, hey, this is my prepaid expense I paid, and now it moves over to your profit and loss, the income statement, as the expense. And again, it could be for consulting, it could be for lawyer fees, prepaid insurance, like accounting fees, like whatever you paid that for, that is the category on your income statement that you would code that expense to. So I know that was a lot, but I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. Again, I'm Kristen Gunderson with Gunderson's Bookkeeping. You can reach out to me at 936-372-2661, or we're on all the social media. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram at Gunderson's Bookkeeping. Thank you.
Hey, that's great information, Kristen. You know, as a business owner, if you're not really good at accounting and bookkeeping, don't do it. Hire a professional just like Kristen to come in and take care of it for you, because she'll do what's right and she'll do exactly what you need to do. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. I'm here on Biz Talk TV on the NowMedia Television networks. We're going to be right back after this, and we're going to talk our legal questions with my good friend David Murphy.
Según el FBI, un robo ocurre cada 13 segundos. Los hogares y negocios sin un sistema de seguridad confiable tienen 300% más de probabilidades de ser robados. Alert 360 proporciona soluciones de seguridad sólidas y personalizadas a clientes residenciales y comerciales, ya sea seguridad en el hogar, detección de incendios y monóxido de carbono, protección contra inundaciones, atención conectada para personas mayores, soluciones de vigilancia administradas por video, monitoreo de alarma las 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana y seguridad de personas. Alert 360 es su solución ideal. Además, Alert 360 tiene integraciones inteligentes para el hogar y el negocio, para una total tranquilidad, protegiendo lo más importante y reduciendo los costos de energía con nuestras funciones de programación automática de primera línea. Alert 360 ofrece descuentos en servicios de seguridad a personal militar, veteranos, primeros respondientes, educadores y personal hospitalario. No seas víctima, da un paso fuerte hoy. Llame a Rosana Torres al 832-863-8574 para su consulta gratuita.
En esta era digital, las tarjetas de presentación de negocio son cosa del pasado. De hecho, la mayoría de las personas que las reciben las pierden en cuestión de minutos. La videotarjeta de negocios de NowMedia es un video de su negocio especialmente creado por nuestros expertos con toda su información de contacto, los productos y servicios de su negocio, y puede ser enviado de manera rápida utilizando su teléfono móvil. Cientos de negocios ya están viendo la diferencia. Llámenos hoy al 832-384-9588.
¿Qué Onda Magazine? Una publicación hispana de noticias y entretenimiento. Sirviendo a la comunidad hispana por más de 25 años. El mejor contenido para estar informado. Política, comunidad, moda, cultura, entretenimiento, cocina, comercio y más. Obtenga su copia gratis en todas las taquerías Arandas.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide, Michael Rager. Hey, we're ready to talk again law. We got my good friend, David Murphy. David, how are you today?
Good morning, Michael. We're doing well.
Man, so we got some more questions, man. I think the last segment went so good with the asking questions. More people popped in and said, hey, let's make things happen. Let's see what's going on. So here's what I got. Hilda wrote, I have employees and contractors, and they're not willing to sign a non-disclosure, non-compete. Can I legally force them to sign? And if not, what options do I have to protect my business?
Wow, that's a situation. I guess the first piece of that is forcing someone to sign a contract. As you might think about, forcing someone to do something is going to be a problem if you're going to enforce that in the court, because they didn't agree to that volitionally. They didn't come about it of their own free will. They were induced, or they were unduly influenced, and the courts frown on that. So in general, if you're going to have somebody signing up and giving up or granting their right, then you're required to give them something. Legally, we call it consideration. And it could be something as simple as a token, maybe if it's an employee, some additional education about their job that would improve their skills in the marketplace, or something like that. The law doesn't require that the consideration be any more than a token.
Well, can I, besides the token, is there any other ways that I can incentivize them? How else can I get them to do it? Because I really got to protect myself, right?
Sure. I mean, that's what all these agreements are about, is protecting your business from disclosure of trade secret information, proprietary things that you've created in your business that makes your business work the way it does. So after an employee starts, continued employment has been argued in the courts, in some cases successfully, in some others it hasn't been. This is loose, and it's better supported by maybe additional training or education about the job that's going to improve that employee in the marketplace. Certainly a small raise would be consideration. That may or may not be a possibility. Maybe there's an additional PTO day given for the signing of the agreement. But the concept is, giving a token, giving the cookie for them signing that agreement. On the contractor side, we've talked about this before. It's a little bit more difficult to pursue that because they can just walk away from you. But the same rules apply as far as consideration. Even in its smallest form, it's still consideration.
So as a business owner, if somebody's going to refuse, to do the basic things that I need, is it in my best interest to either A, not hire them, or B, hire them and then just understand that there could potentially be consequences down the road?
Sure. I mean, explain to the employees that if they don't sign, then they may not have continued employment with your company is always an option to try to get them to enforce that or to agree with that. That may be problematic as far as depending on if that person's a key employee and they're critical to your business, and now you're in a different situation where you're going to need to entice them maybe a little different. The refusal to sign the non-disclosure, non-compete agreement is a valid reason for termination as long as you are requiring all of your employees to sign that. If you're requiring one employee and not others, then that can be problematic if you end up enforcing.
Well, I know one of the things you say all the time is these documents are only worth the price of the paper they're written on unless you enforce it. Because I remember when I got into my first coaching biz, there was a disagreement with one of the companies I was leaving with. I left. The one guy said he sent me a cease and desist, and I chuckled, and I kept doing my work. I just kept going. I wasn't going after his clients. I wasn't doing anything. I said, hey, I learned, I went, I created my own stuff, and I went, but I never heard from him again. When he sent me that cease and desist, how often does that happen? And, when does it come as an idle threat?
Well, everything is related to that person's ability or desire to enforce their agreement. If I had to guess, I would say that maybe somewhere a little less than half of the demand letters that we send out for clients someone pays attention to them and actually pursues things. Unfortunately, sometimes it requires filing a litigation suit against that party to bring them to the table and pay attention to your demands or your requests. It may be a little harsh or one-sided, but it's all about your willingness to enforce the issue and how much the agreement means to you.
As a business owner, it's kind of like cybersecurity. It's not if and when you're going to get attacked. As a business owner, it's not if, it's just when you're going to get a letter from an attorney, from somebody else that's going to happen. How do you just, what's the most important thing? I always tell my clients is you got to have a great relationship with your attorney. What do you tell your clients when it comes to that and getting them just prepared for things that may happen in the future?
Oh, that's about as varied as the clients themselves and the business practices. Some of my clients are more in a situation where they're service providers, and it's more of a matter of making sure that their contracts are buttoned up tight, that they're properly explaining them to their clients. If they're in the trades and they're working on people's homesteads, that they're giving the proper timelines the law requires to secure their ability to file a mechanics lien against the properties if people don't pay. It's all, just like everything else in business, it's all about front-side preparation and making sure that you've got your business locked up as tight as possible to protect your interests going forward. When that does happen, you want to make sure that you have a good, strong written agreement to be able to stand back on and place in front of the court as evidence to prove your position.
Oh man, Dave, that's great information as always. So how do our viewers get to find you? How do they find you, Dave?
Well, you can find us on the web at murphyslawpllc.com. There we are on the screen. Thank you very much. Or call us at our main office number, 281-475-2022.
Well, thanks, David, man. I appreciate you as always. We'll see you next time. This is Michael Rager, your business guide on Biz Talk TV, on all the NowMedia.tv networks. We'll see you right after this.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
I was recently asked what it means to be a family lawyer. What is family law? Family law is not just about divorce or custody or child support. Family law is about your life. As a family lawyer, I protect your children, your wealth, your future. I don't do this alone. As your attorney, we work as a team to determine your goals and priorities and provide a strategy in an often complex, painful, and confusing time. Whether it's asset protection through pre- or post-marital agreements, or fighting to protect your children, I'm here to help. My team and I bring decades of combined experience to support you and your family in all aspects of family and wealth planning, from estate and legacy planning, to divorce and child custody issues, to representation in complex litigation cases. Take a decisive step. We're here when you're ready. Remember, it's about your life.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host, Michael Rager, the Business Guide. And we got our good friend, Matthew Paul from Ayana Financial. Matthew, how are you today?
I am blessed. How are you, sir?
Oh, man, we're just making, every day is a great day, and that's why we're here. So we're going to talk a little bit, and I got a question to ask you. As a business owner, we're really worried about productivity of our employees. And one of the main things that really can get on an employee is financially at home. Things at home they bring into the office. You're a financial expert. As a business owner, how can I help my employees, relieve some of that at-home financial burden?
Oh, that's a great question. So, Michael, you know what? Most of the people are struggling at home, and if they are fighting with their spouse, and when they come to the offices, their productivity is going to be lower. Not because they don't want to work for you, but because they are stressed at home. So one thing that you as a business owner can do to improve the productivity is to make sure that their finances are better at home. And how do you do that? You provide education, because education is the best way to make sure that somebody can get ahead of the curve in their personal lives.
So, we go about education. What type of education are we talking? Are we talking about debt management? Are we talking about investing? What kind of education really will help these people, move forward?
Yeah, so we have to go step by step, right? As you know, the schools these days are not teaching about finances at all. I mean, the average kid who comes out of the high school doesn't even know what a credit card is or how to manage the credit card debt. So what we usually do is we go to the business owner, we will sit with them and try to do a 2-hour class and then teach them, hey, this is the way you budget, this is the way you track your debt, this is the way that you track your expenses. And once they are ahead of the curve, once they have taken handle, they will start paying off their debt. Their communication with their spouse will improve with their finances, and so they will be more productive at workplace.
I remember when I was in financial services, the B word, that budget word, was right up there with, one that I got to worry about right now, diet. It has these things that are kind of negative connotations. And what are we doing? So, budget, is really just taking control, right?
Yeah. I mean, see, most people think that budget is a negative word. Actually, budget is not a negative word. It is actually giving the freedom for you to spend. You are just trying to figure out where you want to spend and spend it without any guilt or shame. And so once you learn the art of budgeting, and there is nothing proprietary about it, there is nothing fancy about it. It is just you and your spouse sitting together and putting together a plan before the month, so that by the end of the month they know where the money went rather than wonder where the money is going. So that is the first thing that you can teach the business employees. And then also you can help them go ahead in their curve with their investment strategies. And the way that you do that is to set up a 401k at work, set up a simple IRA, a SEP IRA, things like that will help the employees get ahead as they're working for you.
Yeah, it's really there. We got to take the money that's going to make sure that the money going out is less than the money coming in. We got that happening, and then we got to start looking at tax strategies and things that we can do, because as a business owner and just as an individual, we don't want to pay more than our fair share of tax. We want to be able to go ahead and get some investment strategy that will really help. There's things like Roth IRAs, 401ks, and all that. How do you educate your people on what's best for them and why they should select certain things?
Yeah. So again, going back to what we started this conversation with, most of the schools are not teaching basic finance to their students, and most of the people don't even know what is happening. So we will sit them and educate them the importance of investing in an IRA or a 401k, because there is something called compound interest. And Albert Einstein once said that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. What that means is that whatever that you are putting this year is compounding every year as much as the market is going up, the securities market is going up. So we will sit with you and try to teach you what is the importance of investing in the 401ks, the IRAs, the Roth IRAs, and even simple and SEP IRAs, so that you can get ahead in life.
Yeah, it's one of those things, one of my favorite things when I used to teach people about this was the rule of 72. Just take that interest rate, divide it into 72, how many years it'll take your money to double just because of the interest rate. And it's amazing that simple things like that still aren't even taught, right?
No, it's not taught, right? Most of the people don't even know what the rule of 72 means. And it is, as you said, it's very, very simple. If you are making 9% in the market, for a longer period of time, every 6 years your money in the market doubles, and that is just by putting the money and not even adding a dime to it. So if we can have young employees start on this plan, $100, $200, you are actually helping them attain a legacy, and they will thank you, because guess what, Michael, tell me one person who said that, hey, I started working there knowing that one day I will screw up. Nobody does that. Everybody starts working at a place because they wanted to contribute and they wanted to be useful at that place. And it is the pressures of life and the pressures at home that making them less productive, which a business owner doesn't like to see.
Yeah, it's one of the things you do is, people are going to become less productive because they're worried. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to go look for that extra $1 an hour. They're going to look through all these other things. And as a business owner, if I can go help these people, move that way, it's great. I remember when I was in this situation, I helped a young kid, Will, he's a great guy. He was like 18 at the time. We did $25 a month into a pack, started investing for him, increased it $5 a month every 6 months. And, here he came. He called me at 21. He's like, man, I'm getting married. I'm getting ready to buy a house. I got money. I can't believe it. And it was just simple. It was simple. It's not that hard, is it?
Yeah, it's that. See, that's what it is, right? Most of the things in life are simple, but we try to complicate it. And that's what happens. So the best thing as a business owner you can do is to have this couple of hours of classes for the employees, teach them where the money is going, and help them save that couple of $100 and start some sort of a retirement plan for them. They will thank you, and you, as you wrap up your business in your older years, you will know that you have helped some people and have that gratitude received from these people.
Yeah, one of the things you got to worry about is there's so many experts out there say, hey, don't use the 401k, don't use this, don't use this. Look, when you're first starting out, let's just start getting simple. Get more complicated as you get yourself educated, and then kind of go from there. You know, I mean, that's my philosophy.
Well, I agree with you, Michael, because as a financial advisor, I believe in diversification. I believe in real estate. I believe in limited partnerships. I believe in all these vehicles, and they are all great. But there is a way that people will try to leverage way too much and get into trouble. So the best strategy, somebody who is young, is to start small, start with their 401ks, with their IRS, let it build up, and as you build up your portfolio, you can diversify into real estate and other areas of life. And all of those programs are great, and as financial advisor, I want to see you having all of those investments, but let's start somewhere small and build your portfolio up.
Yeah, I know, it's simple. It's, my 12-year-old, I invest $75 a month in his college fund. I've been doing it for 12 years now. We've got, probably, the way college is going up, his first semester paid for, but we got a little bit more than that, but it's going. So Matthew, if people wanted to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you and set up a meeting?
Yeah, so, it's very easy. Go to our website. We always offer free consultations. If you are having questions, reach out to us, and if nothing else, we will educate you and you can take the first step moving forward. If you wanted to give us a call, you can call our office at 281-435-1888, or you can visit our website and schedule the free consultation. We are there to help you. As much as you want to get helped, contact us and you will be helped.
Yeah, I love it, Matthew. It's a great way to go. And if you're just starting to struggle a little bit with finances, pick up the phone and call this guy. Yeah, I keep pushing the wrong way. It's on TV. So call him over that way. So I'm Michael Rager, your business guide. I'm here on Biz Talk TV on the NowMedia TV networks. We're going to be back right after this.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Comprar o vender una propiedad es un paso que impacta su vida y la vida de su familia y sus seres queridos. De hecho, estudios demuestran que tener un grupo de agentes de bienes raíces con experiencia garantiza un mejor precio al momento de vender, comprar o alquilar una propiedad. Si quiere comprar o vender una propiedad, LMS Realty es su solución. Contamos con los recursos y la experiencia para agilizar su transacción con facilidad y alcanzar el mejor precio posible. Al mismo tiempo, LMS Group puede hacer evaluaciones de mercado y podemos proporcionar varias soluciones de financiamiento para encontrarle la casa de sus sueños. Además, LMS Realty puede proporcionar varias soluciones de financiamiento para que pueda tener su casa con un menor costo posible. Tome acción hoy mismo. LMS Realty es su solución ideal.
Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your business guide and host, Michael Rager. I'm ready now. We're going to talk to my good friend Keith Cothrell, the Houston tax attorney. One of the most important subjects out there for business owners. We've got to realize, are our employees or are they 1099 contractors? Which one are they, and why it's important for you, the business owner, to know and make that certain distinction? Take it away, Keith.
Hi, Michael. Today's segment is another one from the audience that's been asked about who's a contractor and who's an employee. So we're going to talk today a little bit about, here on Business Talk, about the difference between contractors and employees, and why, if you're an employer, it's important to make the right distinction, because if you don't, there are tax consequences involved in that. So what's an employee? Generally, the business can control what a worker does, how they do it. It's an employee. So if you hired someone and you're using your vehicle and you're paying for their gas and you're directing there's work schedules and they have to take lunch at a certain time and all those sorts of things, then they're likely an employee. An independent contractor are people that set their own time, they have their own trade or business for themselves, they file their own returns, they have their own contract, they set their own hours, they have their own vehicle, and that's typically what an independent contractor is. The IRS looks at a three-pronged test to determine who's an employee or a contractor. They look at the behavioral control. Does the company, do they control or have rights to control what the worker does and how they do it? Financial control. Does the business direct or control the financial and business aspects of the worker's job? How is the worker paid? Are expenses reimbursed? Do they have access to company vehicle or credit cards like we talked about? Who provides the tools or supplies? And the third one is relationship of the parties. The contract, is it between you and someone, or is it between you and that someone else's other business? Benefits, are they in charge of their own benefits? Are you paying the benefits? So what I talked about earlier is that if you don't get this employee, independent contractor thing figured out, and the IRS gets wind of it, then it can impose penalties and make you file those independent contractors as W-2s, and then they're going to penalize you because you hadn't been paying payroll tax and you hadn't been paying FICA and Social Security and all those other things. So I had a case a while back where a construction taxpayer was he's getting guys off the street and he was paying them in cash and doing 1099s, and he thought it was in the clear. And it turned out that, he was letting them use his company vehicle, letting them use the credit cards, and all these other kinds of factors that we've been talking about, where the IRS said they're really not independent contractors, they're really employees. And what the IRS said to me is, they said, we can go back 7 years and basically figure out what the payroll taxes are and have a pretty large, hefty fine on this, but we're going to limit it to 3 years because we feel like it's not egregious enough to go back that far, basically. So what do you do if you find yourself in a position where you've messed up, you haven't treated these particular individuals the right way, you thought they were contractors, maybe really they're an employee. So there's two programs the IRS looks at. One is you can do the voluntary reclassification program. And in this one, we're looking at, have you been audited for this issue before? Are you currently being audited for it? If you're currently being audited for it, are you going to fight it? Are you going to take it to appeal? Are you going to go to tax court? So those are the kind of things that they'll look at. And if you haven't been audited for it before, or if you currently are and you're not going to appeal, you're not going to fight it, then they can limit some of the damage to you. Also, the classification settlement program, that looks at the three-pronged test, similarly situated workers. So if you got two people doing the same job and one's an employee and one's a contractor, why is that the case? There might be a really good reason for that, but the IRS is going to look at a factual basis as to why you're doing that. And the last one is reasonable legal basis to treat the person as either an employer or an independent contractor. And so we're talking about tax regs, case law, tax court, some legal basis that's good law that you can refer to say that's why I treated this person as an employee or not as an employee. And that will also help reduce any burden that you have. So that's all that I have. This particular topic, especially when we get into employees versus independent contractors, what's the difference between the two of them? There's a lot of factual things in there, and so if you're just really not sure what's what on that, then please reach out to me here at the phone number that you see, 832-402-4440, or my email, kcawthorne@cawthorne.com. And that's all I have for us today. Thanks again, Michael, for having me on Business Talk. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
Hey, Keith, that was a really good information, because I'm telling you, as a business owner, if you screw that up, that IRS, they're going to be after you. So this is a great show today, and I really loved it. We started off today talking about a little bit of where do you want to go, why do you want to go there, and how to go ahead and figure out where you're going to be 3 years from now. Remember, right now, we're the end of January today. We're 30 days through the first quarter. We're 1/3 of the way there. So how do you know that you're actually on target? There's some of the great things that we learned today from Jen. You should be looking at your health. That's something as a business owner, we got to be there. We're going to be looking at our health, mental and both physical, and what we're doing. We had Kristen talk to us a little bit about what kind of accounting we should be using. David talking to us about non-competes and all that good stuff. We had Matthew in here and how to help your employees get out of debt so they're more productive for you. And then Keith just finishing up there and looking at why we got to understand what really is a W-2 employee versus what's a contractor. These are important things as business owners that we got to figure out. I've been talking to people that are coming in and out here today as we're putting the show on, and it's how do we figure out where we're going? That's what you really got to do as a business owner. If you don't really sit down and figure out where you want to go, there's no way you're ever going to get there. And all these people that are on the show every week, they're never going to be able to help you because they don't know where to really take you. Because I used to hear that, if you don't know where you're going, you're always there. But you got to look at it. Those of you that follow me on social media, I'm a fisherman. But if you come in as a business owner and you don't tell me where you want to go, I'm going to take you fishing. If you don't like the water, you don't like to eat fish, you don't like that thing, you're going to be highly disappointed and you're going to be mad at me because you didn't tell me where to go. So that's what we want you to do. We got to figure out where you're going to go. You're going to have a great day. You're going to take your business to the next level. I'm Michael Rager, your host and business guide here on Biz Talk TV on all the NowMedia TV outlets. We're going to see you next week. So you guys go out there and have a great week.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Hi there, this is Matthew Paul, CEO of Mayana Financial, where we'll help you live in the black and set up your financial future. You, as a business owner, is running your business and should not be worrying about your upcoming payroll or other expenses. You, as a family or individual, made a lot of money last year but trying to figure out where everything went. And that's where we come and help you. We are financial coaches and registered financial advisors, where we sit with you, create a budget, and ensure that your high interest debt is paid off and plan for your upcoming expenses. In your business, we will help you understand where the money is going and create a plan so you don't have to borrow at a high interest debt. We come across and help you to attain your financial future. So if you need to learn more about us, you can reach us at 281-435-1888. Again, I am Matthew Paul, CEO of Mayana Financial, where we help you live in the black and set up your financial future.